Mr. Rode, your appreciation of the US bombing, was it likely to take place as quickly as it did? And is this likely to lead to an escalation? Are US assets in the region now under threat?
Well, we can't know the future, but listen, I lived in Iran. I went to university in Iran. And I worked for many years at the Pentagon. All that I can tell you is Iran is all talk and little action. And the result, they're in a corner, the terrorists that run Iran right now. Khamenei, the supreme leader, he is a dictator. And we know internally that about 80% of the people in Iran want him gone. They want the whole Islamic Republican government gone. They want, like India, like the United States, to be an inclusive country where people can speak and do what they want. Iran in the past was before the Islamic Revolution. That's when I studied in Iran. Was the Iranian people, the Iranian passport was respected everywhere. Unfortunately, because of the terrorists that are not only they want to take over, not over Iran, they want to rule the entire Muslim world, and then afterwards the entire world. Read their constitution, listen to what they say, even more important than the documents.
Okay.
And that's finished now. And thank God. What President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel have done, and I think this is really only the beginning, is liberate the world. And also in the Persian Gulf, in the UAE, the Emirates, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia, I already know in the last few minutes from conversations from people there, they are happy, they are elated. Thank God for President Trump, and thank God for Benjamin Netanyahu, the two of them working together, hand in glove, all during this time period. And the Iranians
Harold Rode, is it your appreciation that this is endgame for the regime in Iran, or does the regime still have the capability to target US interests in the region?
If they dare do that, then it will not surprise me if the president, the American president, in his infinite wisdom said that is going to be the end. We know where the bunker, where the terrorist leader Khamenei, we know where he is. If we could use bombs here in the United States to get so deep into the ground, and plus Israel knows also exactly where the Iranian leader is. If he refuses to give up, and it's not the way things work in the Middle East, you don't give up because it involves enormous shame. But if he doesn't, then maybe he will be lucky enough to meet God, and he'll have to deal with God for all the terror, what he's done to human beings, what he's done to the world, innocent people all over. And slowly but surely, already as of October 7th, about 600 days ago, what he did, slowly but surely, first the Israelis, and now once that President Trump was back in office here in the United States, slowly but surely, all of Iran's tentacles, like an octopus, all of its tentacles were methodically destroyed.
You've studied in Iran. You understand their mind. Will the people of Iran be with the regime, or will there be a domino effect that may take place, and there may be a movement against the regime as Israel hopes?
And as I am sure no one is formally talking about it, it is for the Iranian people to liberate themselves. Neither the Israelis nor the Americans want to put troops and to have people in there. We have been a failure at trying to understand how, when in both Afghanistan and Iraq, and I was in the Iraq War, we were a failure, and you cannot make one culture think like another culture. The Iranian people are highly sophisticated with a civilization just like yours in India,
Yes.
extremely ancient, extremely capable people. And now they have a chance. If they realize that the Revolutionary Guards and the Basij, these are the terrorist people that have been destroying their lives. Once they see that they are weak and incompetent, then they will arise. That I lived through the early and mid stages of the previous revolution, of the Islamic Revolution, in a city called Mashhad in northeastern Iran.
Yes.
Watched how people, the moment that they saw the government was weak, they turned on the government. That is the nature of the Iranian people. There is a phrase, and I realize that Hindi is one of the source languages is Persian. There's a phrase, bot parast, in Persian, which means they bow down to power, because they're afraid of power.
Yes.
And these people now, the question is, does the regime still have the ability to keep itself in power?
What is your appreciation? What is your appreciation of the power that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei would wield even after the bombing of Natanz, Isfahan, and of course, most important, Fordo?
What is his position?
Yes.
I'm not on the ground there, and I can't know the details. But what I expect in the coming period of time, we will see how the Iranian people react. If they believe that they no longer have to deal or to worry about their government, the government of the Islamic Republic, then you will see. I'm almost sure, we can't know the future, but they will rise up, and they will take care of their own future. And I can tell you what they want. I have no doubt about it, because there's very, very good surveys, and I myself am in touch with a lot of people there, and we speak in Persian. And all I can tell you is they are waiting. They've been waiting for this moment.
Okay. But Iran is saying that it's the United States of America that's now in violation of international laws. You cannot target a civilian nuclear facility, a declared civilian nuclear facility, and US is in violation of IAEA laws. Your stand on that, sir?
No, listen, if this was a peaceful nuclear program, you could enrich uranium to about 3.5%. This is already enriched there to 60%. And to go from 60 to 90%, you can do in a very, very short period of time. It could be days, it could be weeks. I'm not confident in that. But what I know is as follows. Since the only reason that they enrich this, there's no other purpose besides to produce a nuclear bomb. And that, therefore, is what they were doing. So that is a violation of international law and the international, I don't remember the exact initials of it, of the international, Iran has signed that it will not develop nuclear weapons. So if you're talking about what Iran is saying, it's in violation of international law, the truth is the Iranians are the ones who violated. These Americans and the Israelis, they don't want to take over other people's country. But if you're going to produce nuclear weapons and you are threatening the rest of the world, again, their enemies are the Sunnis. And in India, about 80% of the Muslims are Sunnis. First, they want to take over the Sunni world. Then they want to take over the rest of the world. And from there, if you read their constitution and if you live with them, as I did, it's very simple. Any part of the world whichever was ruled by Muslims must remain Muslim forever. That's what they understand.
Okay.
Now, look at India. I mean, India was taken over by the Muslims at one point. So from their point of view, India also belongs to the Muslim world, and it must be ruled by Muslims.